Marcus Luttrell was one of my childhood heroes, and he definitely influenced the person who I am today. He motivated me to join the military in two different ways. After reading his book, Lone Survivor, I realized that I wanted to be a part of the team he belonged to, and that I could accomplish anything I put my mind to, as long as I didn't quit. While Luttrell's story may not be well known in the civilian world, he's become an absolute legend among members of the armed forces. To display how prevalent Luttrell's reputation is in the military, I'm going to introduce and interview my wingman and friend, Cadet 4th Class Luke Tureen. Cadet Tureen, do you have a minute? Cadet Tureen, do you know who Marcus Luttrell is?
Well, of course I know who he is. He's one of the most famous Navy SEALs of all time. I mean, just because of his role in Operation Red Wing.
Do you know how he got this reputation?
Well, I mean, of course. I mean, he was wounded in so many ways, and he still managed to escape to get to a friendly village who actually took him in. The rest of his team, the 3 other SEALs who were with him, they were also killed as well, trying to get down the mountain and escape after a force of a few hundred Taliban soldiers were attacking them. I know he was shot about 11 times, through and through wounds. He had shrapnel all over his body, broke his back while falling down a mountain, and got actually this awful disease that would later cause him great struggles with his digestive system in general. He also bit his tongue in half, which was something that they kind of glance over in the movie. They don't show how awful it was for him. Absolute, just force of nature, I guess you would say, when it comes to his role in Operation Red Wing.
Cadet Tureen, thank you so much for your time. It's been a pleasure speaking with you.
Yeah, no problem.
Luttrell was born 7 minutes after his twin brother Morgan in Houston, Texas. He didn't exactly have an ordinary childhood there. He liked to hunt, fish, and of course, wrestle alligators. Also, his SEAL training started at the young age of 14. Him and his brother quickly learned from Billy Shelton, a retired soldier, that quitting was never an option.
It was one of those things I wish I could have quit, because it was tough.
I cannot imagine that.
Because he didn't, when you first started, he didn't care about you, he didn't like you. You were more of a nuisance to him when you first got out there because you were behind everybody else. So you really had to, I remember, I think it was probably the first 2.5, 3 months I was there, I was the worst one in the bunch. I was the weakest, I was the slowest, and good Lord, I would pay the man. I mean, he would lay into me. He left me to die twice that I remember, and told me, he's like, I hope you die, and just walked off. And I was sitting there like,
And how old are you?
I was 14, 15 years old.
Luttrell's determination and perseverance would be put to the ultimate test during Operation Red Wing. As Cadet Tureen mentioned earlier, the events of this operation established Luttrell's outstanding reputation among members of the armed forces. We highly respect him for 2 major reasons. The first is that he does the right thing when no one is looking. As depicted in this scene from the movie Lone Survivor, Luttrell encourages the members of his team to obey the rules of engagement and release the goat herders that could and ultimately will compromise their mission. The second is Luttrell's refusal to quit despite everything going wrong around him.
Marcus, never out of the fight.
Operation Red Wing is an example of Murphy's Law at its cruelest. Luttrell falls down a massive cliff, is shot numerous times, watches his rescue helicopter get shot down, watches his best friends die, and is attacked repeatedly while being in critical condition. Despite all this, Luttrell refuses to quit on his teammates and refuses to quit on himself. He never gives up or stops fighting despite having every excuse to do so. So where does this leave everyone else? Most people will never be put in harm's way, let alone face the hell that Marcus Luttrell went through. All we can do is follow his example in our battles with the little obstacles in life.
There could be much worse.